Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, homestead in the desert. I think it's like the 29th. Oh no, wait a minute, it ain't that late. Well, anyway, I'll put the date in the title as I usually do. When you're retired, you really don't keep track of the dates as much as you should, but beautiful sunset, red-orange sun going down, hazed by the smoke of the bobcat fire. It was smoky here earlier, but the winds are blowing now. Wow, pretty good gusts, as you can see in the bushes moving. But yeah, it's just making electricity for me, so it's okay. And I didn't post the essay, and well, what was going on was I woke up just not feeling 100%. And then about right after breakfast or so, I started experiencing chills, and I was so chilled, even though it was 80 something degrees. I got into bed and threw the covers over me and wrapped up tight, and I was shivering. It was just something that was just weird. And so anyway, I got up this morning, and I still wasn't feeling up to par, so I just spent all day in bed with my air conditioning running in there to keep me cool, because it was up in the mid to upper 90s today. But air conditioner ran all day long, non-stop, and had the cabin down to about 20 degrees below the outside temperature, and it was comfortable. I slept really well all day long. I can't believe how fast the time passed. And I would wake up and it was noontime. Then I'd go back to sleep and wake up at 6 p.m. So wow. But I'm feeling a lot better right now. And I'm not going to push it. I'm going to make a video and then get in there and get some more rest, make myself some dinner, get something to eat, because I'm hungry. All right. 12.7. Look at that. 12.7, 12.6. Full batteries, even though I ran an air conditioner all day long, along with everything else running in here, the refrigerators and all that stuff. So, yeah, I really do have to admit, those new controllers are definitely the way to go. Don't waste your time and money like I did on cheap Chinese controllers. I don't care if they claim they're MPPT or not. They just do not do what a good Midnight Classic 150 will do. I still have to say that is the top of the line, best thing out there. You're going to pay for it, but you're going to get your money's worth out of it. It's definitely worth the money. I mean, it makes what a difference it makes. My batteries are never been happier. This thing goes into float mode. Even though I was running the air conditioner early in the day, when I came out here to open the door to let some cool air into the battery room, the batteries were still on float, even though I was running an air conditioner inside. Yeah, just really doing its MPPT business the way it should be doing it. I really love that. All right, so one other thing I wanted to mention was I had a comment on the Art Deco of the case of that Midnight controller, and yeah, it is pretty cool. Almost looks like an old jukebox type thing. And on the box, it's got two pretty girls standing on each side of it with their backs turned. But I was really upset that when I opened up the box, those parts were missing, because I would have really loved to have gotten those two girls. You know what I mean. All right, so the chickens, I'm not going to go down there, but you can see them up there. They've heard my voice, so they jump up there and they see if I'm bringing them anything. I will go get some whole oats. I keep a bag of whole oats here. I'll give them some whole oats for a treat before they turn in for the night. And I probably should go collect eggs in there too, because I didn't collect eggs today. So I know there's going to be 3 eggs in there. But I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to try to cut this one off pretty soon here and go inside and get some more rest. I don't want to push it and have a relapse of what was going on. Okay, the next thing I have on my list is I did go over to Tractor Supply and picked up a couple of these cast iron ones. They're 5/16, and those will go on the new panel rack, so I can adjust those tension cables on the sides for the higher winds when they come. Another thing I wanted to mention, this little thing, I got this at Harbor Freight, and this is not part of the tank. This is a separate item that you buy. And what's it for? Well, it's for filling those smaller 1 pound bottles of propane off of one of these big tanks of propane. And what you do is you screw this in here and tighten it down and get it seated, and then flip this bottle over and stand it on this handle area. Then you can screw your tank onto there and open the valve up, and you'll feel the tank and it'll start getting cold, and that means it's filling the tank. Sometimes the tank is airbound and it won't let the propane go into it. On the top of the tank, let's see if I can get there. Well, anyway, on the top of the propane tanks, it looks like there's one of those little needle valves that you see on a car tire inflator nozzle. And it's got one of those little pins down inside there. Don't be fooled by it. It's not a push pin. You don't push it in like you do on a car tire. You have to pull it out. So it takes a very small pair of fine needle nose pliers, and you can lift up on that valve and let the air pressure out of the tank so that the propane will flow in. And then you fill up your propane tank, your small propane bottles, and there's a certain weight that you use for them. I think it's like 13 ounces or something like that. You can look that up, but I don't usually go by that. I just turn it on, I feel the tank, and I can feel what part of the tank is cold. It tells me how much of the propane is into it, and then I just shut the valve off and unscrew it, and I use it from there. And if you want to fill them all the way up as much as you can, then yeah, you should do that. Some people say that you should refrigerate the small bottle, the 1 pound bottle, put it in the freezer for 20 minutes or so and get it really super cold, and then do that, and it'll transfer better. But I find it just as easy just to pull on that little valve, let the air pressure out, and then put a quick fill into the tank. It only takes, I can do them in 2 minutes, and I've got a full tank ready to go. All right, so the other thing that I did get was I went through my electrical stuff and I found this old cable here with a forward reverse switch on it, which I'll take off. I don't need to use that. But this plug looks almost like the right one to go into there. But the ground lug right here is reversed. So that one won't work. So I went to the store and I bought the right one. So this is the one that'll go on there. And then this nice heavy duty wire will be what'll tie into the bus bars of my circuit panel. And then when if there's an emergency or need be, say we had a whole month of no sun, really bad weather, well, I'd have to run it off of this generator, and of course I have to have a lot of gasoline, but I can plug that into the generator and shut off my solar power and my inverter, and just pump directly into the circuit panel using this 6500, 5500 running watts. I'd say I probably only get about 4,000 out of this. For some reason, the Chinese always overrate their stuff. But even if I'm getting 4,000 watts or 4 kilowatt, that should have no problem running everything in the cabin until the sun comes out. All right, so that's my backup plan. I'm still going to, I think I am going to end up moving that shed because that's just become a haven for critters to tunnel under and spend the winter underneath it. So I'm going to move that further away from my cabin, and then I'll, right where it is I'm going to build another cinder block shed, all cinder block all the way up, or maybe cinder block 4 feet up, and then the top of it will be lumber. And then I'm going to have this thing inside of there, and concrete slab. I'll have this thing fastened to the slab with special fasteners, so it won't be an easy thing to disconnect. Of course, it is really heavy, so it would take 3 guys to lift it onto a pickup truck. But still, I want to make sure it's really secure and locked up and that stuff, and it'll be out of the weather. And then I could have some vents in the wall so that carbon monoxide won't build up. But I can, when I have it running, I'll just have the doors open so that it won't build up anyway. But if it's really inclement weather, I may want to close the doors up a little bit. Anyway, that's all I have for today, everybody. I'm glad you could stop by and join me on this adventure. I appreciate you coming by, and I'd appreciate you guys if you give me a thumbs up down there. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribership's been climbing pretty well, but gotta go a little faster. I want to get to that 5,000 mark. That'd be a good position for me to be in. And for those of you who don't know, that's how we off-gridders make our extra cash to help afford things, is through our YouTube videos. So watch those ads, click on them every now and then, go see what the advertiser is talking about if you see something of interest. And yeah, we get credit for all that stuff, and then of course the number of views. So I really appreciate the viewership. Thank you all. This is G Bear signing off.